All right, are we live? This is
Maybe.
okay. We are live. Oh, yep. It is confirmed. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fruits Basket podcast. The first time it's ever been on the main channel. Rising. How many years has it been since we talked about Fruits Basket?
82.73 and 1/3.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus
Got it down
Lord.
to a science.
Yeah,
This would
already.
have to be a question.
I guess that's true. Already in the chat, QRW6 says he misses the Bento channel. If you're not familiar with the Fruits Basket podcast, it's a long-running podcast from, well, since the Fruits Basket 2019 anime started. And,
Yeah, all those
well,
18 years ago.
the Bento channel, we'll
The
just
podcast
say...
that I met you guys by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
The podcast that channel, or the channel that podcast was on, this podcast was on, died. So it's here now. Yeah, we don't talk about Bento because it shouldn't be talked about. And if it's talked about, you're banned. That's a joke. Anyways.
Let's talk about Bento.
Oh, you're banned.
Oh.
Anybody have any controversial opinions about the Bento channel?
Oh no.
Well, I love the controversial opinions.
Too many webtoons.
Yeah,
so yeah,
boring.
Joined here by Rising Sun Reviews and
Hello.
special guest co-hosts, starting with the great one, the holy one, aka Best Girl,
really.
Francesca.
Hi, I'm Francesca. You
Hello, Francesca.
follow my Twitter, please. That's all. My Twitter's
Yeah,
amazing.
YouTube.
I've been losing followers. I'm in my flop era. Please follow me there.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to start like doing sellout moves and stuff. You have to sign. You're gonna have to sign to a major label.
Yeah.
You're not punk rock anymore. And Shadow Blazer 3000.
Hey, what's up? Glad to be here.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
The man with the plan. The dude. The guy. Mizu Sauce Mix.
Whoa, what's up, my pineapples? Is that good? Did I do good?
Well, yeah, pineapples are fruit, so yes, it's good.
Okay, cool. Because Fruits Basket, we're talking about like, yeah, okay, cool.
We're like, C's a pineapple, I'm an apple, Shadow is a tomato, Francesca is a watermelon, and Mizu.
I hate watermelon.
How can you hate watermelon? It's delicious.
It's nasty. I like the texture, but the taste is gross. If watermelon was like the same, but it tasted like strawberries, that would be so good.
That does sound good. I don't want watermelon and strawberries.
I'd rather be a grape.
I'd rather be a rice ball.
Oh, reference to one of my favorite episodes of season 1.
Oh, that's such a sweet episode.
Yes.
I'm seeing I think some people from the Bento channel in here in the chat, which is pretty crazy. People like Hazel Maple. I think Brittany here.
Yeah, Brittany, I remember.
Tons of people. Tons of people I'm seeing. Trademark S, my good friend Trademark S. He's even here. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the episode. This is actually labeled episode 0 on Funimation, but it's just episode 1.
Yeah, I believe that's because, it's an early premiere and they left out the opening and ending and stuff, so it's not complete. Technically, they don't have the OP and ED.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But, for all intents and purposes, it's just episode 1 in the dub.
Yeah, I thought it might be a recap, and then I was surprised when it wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think they would do a recap. Because usually that's done when, production is halted, but it seems like they've been, on it, which is crazy, like COVID and everything.
Well, what they've done with the My Hero Academia news season, the first episode will a lot of times be a sort of recap to get people spun up before they jump.
Yeah, maybe they should do that because I watch a lot of reaction channels and some of these people do not remember anything.
Wait, are you talking about us?
No, not you.
Okay, we're not that bad.
I'm sweating in me boots right now.
No, that's why you have us to help you out. See, between all of us, we should remember.
Before we got into the episode, I'm just curious. I think that you guys are all anime only, if I'm correct. None of you read the manga, I don't think.
Correct.
Yeah, I've not read it.
I'm wondering what your thoughts were just before you watch this, like what you thought season 3 would be like. If this first episode is kind of living up to your expectations of which way you thought the show would go. That makes sense. I'm just curious. I love how I'm acting like the host.
I see you're fired, Francesca's the new host.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Well, see, you're first in the podcast chat, so you should get start.
All right. Well, for me, I don't remember what I said in the last podcast we did. I think we tackled this topic before. If not, at least for season 1, going into season 2, we did. But my expectations going into this episode was really just it being kind of more like the second half of season 2 and addressing more serious topics and just being generally a more serious show. I guess in other words, it's it's going to be more of a drama in this season, with lighthearted elements than it was. I think in last season was a little bit more balanced, and the comedy was still very pronounced. So I guess going into this, my expectations are definitely it's going to be more drama. That's just my guess.
That's my favorite part of the show. Like the second half of season 2 on is like peak Fruits Basket for me.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I'm rewatching season 2 currently in dub nonetheless. So going to this, I wasn't exactly wasn't very jarring. Quite enjoyed it.
And I guess sorry, go ahead, Mizu.
I was gonna say, yeah, for me, I didn't think it was gonna get into the heavy topics like this early on into the season. But I mean, it's just what's the word for it? I don't know. It's very like how Ben said it, season 2 was very heavy on the topics, and season 3 started off with the mother, we get the reveal of the mom, who I guess it seems like she's the bad guy. I mean, not the bad guy, but the bad, the big bad, I guess you could say, the antagonist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll discuss Rin here in a second, but I think that is the craziest. It's kind of what inspired the title of this podcast was Rin's involvement.
So, what's crazy is that they mentioned Ren a few times in season 2, and there were people who predicted everything about her before she even showed up. They're like, oh, I bet Ren is Akito's mom. I bet this. I was like, what the?
Was it Satsuki? Was it Satsuki the Savage? It was, wasn't it? You don't have to say.
I can't remember. I know it was a few people. I actually can't remember if Satsuki was one, but he probably was.
Yeah, dude, Satsuki's crazy. His theories are insane. Absolutely insane. He gets everything right.
Way, not the insane we make stuff up way.
Yeah, not us with Toru the Dragon. He's breaking. He's got it down to a science. But Shadow, what was your expectations going in with this season?
Well, I don't think I have met much in the way of expectations. I'm still coming off of essentially the original series from 2001, so everything past season 1 has been all new territory for me, and it's been very exciting to see where the story goes further, where the first series just stops, and to see how much more of the story fleshes out. There are a few things I know from reading spoilers years ago, but I've forgotten most of them anyway, so everything's been still a pleasant surprise, and definitely some more interesting stuff. Some stuff I didn't know for sure, like the story of Ren and Akito and their connection to each other. I don't think I knew anything about her before this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where this is going, and I really also look forward to see how much more Toru becomes involved between Akito and everybody else.
Yeah. I think for me, Toru getting closer involved with Akito is definitely a big thing, because from a story structure perspective, they have set so many things up in the first 2 seasons, and now they have to tie it all together and resolve it. So I think the conflict between Toru and Akito will become a lot more pronounced. I think there might also be a sort of friendship maybe between them, though I don't know where that could go. And I also think we'll get more with the Toru and Kyo romance, because that's kind of obvious. And I just feel all these different pieces they start setting up are going to go together. Though the contents of this episode itself completely surprised me. Like, I had no idea we'd get to Akito's backstory, her dynamic with Ren, Hana showing up and being awesome and all that. But yeah, I was not expecting it to be that emotionally heavy hitting either, but that definitely hit me really hard.
Hmm.
Well, kicking off the episode, I suppose. Let's just talk about Rin. She has not shown up at all. This is the first episode she showed up in, and
That's actually not quite true.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
she's her hand has shown up in some other things as well, but this is the first
Yeah,
time.
and she was mentioned.
Yeah, and yeah, that as well. And but this is like the first time like she's there and you get to see her, I guess. Her on-screen full debut. And well, she's the mother of Akito and makes the thing that I was very surprised by is that she kind of makes Akito a little bit sympathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think ever since Yuki's backstory, we've gotten these hints of like, there's more to Akito's character than meets the eye. Because, from that backstory, we heard from Yuki, Akito we used to hang out. He said he because he thought, Akito was a guy, but, he used to be like normal. And then one day he just snapped and went crazy. So it's like, you wonder what was like Akito like before that, what could have caused that. So I think that since then.
Yeah, and I feel like Fruits Basket just as a whole would not like make a character completely unsympathetic. That's just not how it tells a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's I think that is what is so good about Fruits Basket is it's not afraid to make every character have these shades of gray moments where there's things you don't like about them, there's things you like about them, or and it's not like exclusive either. You don't have to hate a character altogether. I think Akito is probably the most hated character at this point. I mean, we don't know too much about Rin yet, I guess, to say it definitively. But even then, like the last episode before this also made me sort of like Akito even more. So it's that's what I like about Fruits Basket. It's really good at doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of characters like at the start I didn't care for them, but then we got to learn a little bit more about them. I really did like the student council or Kagura or probably many other characters.
Kaga's a great
I
example.
love the student council.
Yeah,
I remember reading the manga. I was a big Kyotoru shipper. So I think every time the student council would come up at first, I'd be like, get out of here. I'm trying to read about Kyo and Toru. But then I ended up falling in love with them,
That's cute.
well, that's how I felt too. Like last season, in the anime, I was like, okay, all this other stuff is interesting to Somas and Kyo and Toru. Like student council, why do I care about you? I want the good story.
Yeah, I really like Yuki and the class what's the class president, or like not the class president.
Yeah, the student council.
The student council. Is it vice president? Yeah, vice president. If
Kakaru, yeah.
Yeah, I like their relationship a lot.
Yeah, same. They have like one of the best bonds in the show, I think. But sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, I will say that actually, so Akito like grabs Ren by the throat and pushes her through a bunch of shit.
Okay,
And,
that
like-
did not happen in the manga.
Which
In
I
the
heard.
manga- So let me just tell you that this adaptation is going fucking wild. Because in the manga, first of all, for the true form arc with Kyo, he did not push Toru off a cliff. He just like pushed her and she got hurt. And like in this in the manga, Akito didn't like slam Ren through all these doors. Not that I'm complaining, I think it's fun.
Yeah,
But in the manga, she just started choking her out, if that makes sense. And they had to grab her and get her off.
like she flew through the air.
Yeah.
How did Akito have that much strength?
I mean,
Real Akito's like a puny little, like sickly little,
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it was
maybe
just in
it's
her
just the
shoes.
adrenaline,
Or it
I
could be
guess the
that.
adrenaline and Ren doesn't look like that physically strong, so like the surprise and her instability. Maybe she caught Ren off
Oh
guard.
yeah, they said that she's like sick too, or something, or
Yeah.
not sick, but like that she stays in her room, and that she's always leering at the Zodiac Men. That's what we saw her do with Kurno, like trying to grab at him,
Well,
and with
Hatsuri
Hatsuri
too.
this episode.
Someone continue.
Oh,
Okay.
also,
What
I have
topic are we
another. I have another thing to point out. Did we ever have mention of Akito's father? Because like we did,
Not until this episode, I don't think.
yeah. Because that white-haired guy, if I remember, in the flashback that Akito had, was that
Akira?
like, yeah, was that his like actual father? Or
Her father.
yeah,
I'm
his
not gonna
father?
say
Okay, never mind then.
because
Well, I guess
I'm
we'll
a
find
manga reader,
out.
but yeah, their name is
Yeah.
Akira.
Okay, Kira, that's it. Wait. So, Akira has white hair. Toru's father is known for having like his color being white. I wonder if there's a connection there.
Okay, so I literally had that written down in my notes for like the crazy wild theory speculation thing. I was like, oh my god, is Toru's father related to somebody in the Soma clan? And that is the reason, remember in season 2, where Kyoko was talking to Kyo and was like, treat her well. Huh?
Well, but did Kyoko know anything about the Somas? Though I guess we don't know the full story of Kyoko and Kyo's backstory. But
I
there
mean-
might be connection.
Yeah.
I mean, think
Definitely
about it.
go into some
What a
kind of connection
twist.
there.
What a twist!
What a twist!
If I'm just sitting here being like, I have no idea. I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Yeah, I know Francesca gets quiet when we come up with crazy ideas.
Yeah, I'm just like observing.
I'm like, yeah, interesting. These people are idiots, but interesting.
And that leads into, okay, so listen. So, Toru is a dragon, all right?
Can we mute Steve on his own podcast?
I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, there's got to be some connection there. I
Yeah.
would think.
But I was wondering what you guys thought about, it kind of develops Akito's character a little bit in the aspect that you've always seen Akito be very defensive of the Zodiac Men. And in this episode, he basically says, "Why are you always trying to get at the Zodiac Men?"
Well,
Yeah.
that
and
might
then-
also be why he doesn't, or why Akito doesn't seem to care about the females like as much. Like, he literally threw Rin out a window.
Yeah.
I keep calling Akito he. That's so funny. It's like
Yeah, we're gonna
force of
have to-
habit.
Muscle
Yeah.
memory
Look,
at this point.
look, it's been a he for 2 seasons.
Well,
like,
I was actually spoiled that like after season 1, I went to like an anime convention and someone like spoiled Akito's gender. So like in the podcast last season, I was having to be very careful not to like say
Yeah.
she.
Yeah.
For me, that was when I was still in high school and the manga was still coming out, and all my friends were reading the manga. I wasn't. I was just only watched the anime. So they all mentioned that, oh, Akito's a female. You know, 'cause
It's so
they
funny
were
because she
up
has a
to
male
date.
voice actor in the old version.
Yeah. Plus, the old version, I don't think ever got that far enough to know that Akito was really
Yeah.
female anyway. So
so about like the Rin, like about Rin and with all the males. See, this is my theory. This is like totally out here. But, like it's probably because, right? I'm guessing she's single, and so
No.
I mean, another like I don't know. That's
You
just my
don't
theory. Like
have
she's single,
to
so
be
She's got like that sexy
lonely.
seductress voice, and she got the big old,
Yeah.
The big
Yeah.
old what, Francesca? Say it. Say it.
mommy milkers. See,
Stop.
mommy milkers. That's what I
Why-
was gonna say.
You and Mizu use that term. It's so cringy. Don't call them mommy
What
milkers.
mommy milkers.
Big old badonkadonks.
That's better. That's better. That's an improvement.
She basically just looks like an older version of Rin, and her name's Ren. It's
Yeah.
Ren.
That's going to get very confusing. I know why people call Rain Isuzu like more because that's like a more distinct name.
Well, Rin is like a nickname for Isuzu. So the only people I think who call her Isuzu are like Toru and Ren. I think those are the only people who have called her that.
Okay, how does that get?
Yeah.
Like, how's that nickname fit?
Because apparently Isuzu can be written as Rin, like with the
Okay, it's like
kanji or something.
Same kanji in 2 different reasons. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Crazy theory, y'all. Ren and Ren are the same person, and they fuse together to
What?
create Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Um,
I'm
you
muting
know,
Steve.
something
Great
in-
eyes play dragon.
I mean,
something
Sorry.
interesting was, food for thought was last season when, Akito pushed Ren out the window. He goes, that long black hair you drag around is disgusting, which is like her mom's long black hair, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if there's like any sort of relationship between Ren and Rain, since it seems
They
like a
do.
lot of Akito's hatred of Ren is like projected onto Rain. So maybe like Ren and Rain have like teamed up in the past, maybe, or like Rain has like tried to use Ren to stop Akito.
My theory, maybe they're sisters.
Wait,
Wait,
Crazy
Ren
aunt?
and Rain?
Crazy aunt?
Well, I mean,
wait, that would mean that Ren's parents would have to give birth to her, but they're like the same age. 'Cause they're both moms.
We're thinking way too much about this.
yeah, I don't think it ties together.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
I know
how
that-
would the ages work? Because isn't Akito's mom like 40 and Ren's like 17?
Oh, she looks good for a 40-year-old.
Sister Sakito. But
Done.
no, I'm tripling over my words. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Listen to Shadow, he's the smartest.
Yeah.
There's
Wait, so what else did we
Well,
talk about?
So going back on the topic, there's also the scene with when when Akito's born, with like all the adult somas like reacting to her tummy, I guess, like her being born.
Yeah.
No,
If
she
that makes
wasn't
sense.
born yet. She
Oh
was
yeah.
conceived. So like that, like imagine you're Ren and you just with your husband, you just did it, right? And then the
Yeah.
next morning a bunch of little kids come like crawling at your stomach. Like how creepy is that? And they're like crying and
Yeah.
shit.
Even even in the episode when like they're reaching their hands to like the tummy, I was like, that's a little weird, but
It's eerie.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
And the whole time they're talking like, the curse is unnatural. The curse is unnatural. And I think that was a way to kind of display the kind of weirdness of the curse. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It is ominous
Some-
too, in a sense,
Yeah.
because of not only that, but like the whole like deliver the message that I'll be there soon or whatever. I
yeah.
forget the exact quote, but that was so
Mhm.
like that like if the next scene it turned into like some horror anime, I would be surprised.
Ooh.
Oh, something I forgot to mention. This episode started off the same way as episode 1 of season 1 with the
Oh yeah, the
God surrounded
Zodiac.
by the animals and stuff,
Oh wow, I
saying,
totally
"I'll
forgot
hold a
about that.
banquet again and again, forever unchanging. We'll see each other again." Stuff like that.
Damn, is he a Beatle member?
Wait.
He can rhyme.
Something
No.
about the original promise that was forgotten by everyone.
Here's
And
the
like a
thing,
lot of like stuff in there.
Oh,
I remember-
hey,
I
real
remember
quick.
that Toru did the narration for like the first one. Did she also do it on this one?
Yeah, she did the narration both times.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah. But I noticed like this one was a lot more chilling. I think is like how she's doing it, along with the context of what we knew about it.
I can't remember. I'd have to watch them both side by side, but I thought they were
Yeah.
pretty similar. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I think they're definitely made to parallel.
Akito
I mean,
is
I
the
think-
false
I think
prophet.
I think the reason why you think it hits harder is because you know more information now. Like the
Yeah.
beginning,
Mhm.
you didn't know anything about it, so it's like
It's like oh, they're
And
introducing-
everybody forgets it
Yeah.
after the first episode. Like it kind of just leaves your mind.
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know until you told me like right now that was in episode 1, season 1.
It was the very first scene, and then Toru like gets out of her tent.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, but we bring up like it's Ayame, Shigure, and Hattori who remember because they were the oldest.
Yeah.
And Kurano.
Oh, Kurno.
Or Kurano, yeah. I cry.
Wait.
Ritsu gets slipped out of everything. They're like, and Ritsu was too young. He doesn't remember.
Yeah, something I just thought of though. You notice that there are like no other Zodiac, so like for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like there are any Zodiac older than that group. So why not? What happened to the Zodiac spirits during that time?
Well, they talked about during the beach arc that the fact that all the Zodiacs are alive at the same time right now is very rare, and that like barely ever happens. Because usually, there was no God spirit before that either. Until Akito was born, like unless the previous God spirit. You know what I mean? So it's not very often that all of the Zodiac will be alive at the same time.
Okay, it could be like same with the god. There wasn't a god of zodiac for a while, but now Akito was born with that.
Yeah. I remember
I
reading the
mean,
manga and feeling so dumb because I was like, wait, there was no god. Like, and it would just confuse me. And then I realized, oh, yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
think
not always all alive at the same time.
I'm not sure if they explained it in the anime of the beach arc because I don't remember that.
They did. They did when they were walking home from the beach.
Okay,
It was
well,
like when Hiro like asked Toru why she didn't carry a picture of her dad or something.
okay.
Hydrotriacic, that is a word, says, I'm sure the script was the same, but they're different takes. The intonations in season 1, season 3 are different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's good to know about the first scene.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back and just compare them, see exactly what was changed, what was different. What do we feel only
I think
because
that I think the first one was more happy, but I might be wrong.
it seemed to have a happier connotation, but again, that could just be because of the context.
But do you
I
guys have
mean,
any like theories about that? Like the whole
I
beginning
mean,
scene?
yeah. So the beginning scene with like her saying that, I feel like she said that like as a like happiness because she didn't know like about the Zodiac members and all that. So I mean, and then like when now she knows everything. So I don't know. It's just like a different,
Yeah.
like a
Well,
different opinion.
the speech I believe is supposed to be from God's point of view, but Toru's like saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Because
it's
Toru is the god. I'm telling you, Akito, false prophet, Toru is the god. And a dragon.
Also, another thing is
A dragon?
that scene with all of them realizing Akito was like there, like it like emphasizes more on like they're really like connected to Akito, like you know what I'm trying to say? Like yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, okay, you guys get what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alejandro says, I love the lines, I'm frozen, everything is frozen. So I guess we should go ahead and talk about that scene. Because I was very surprised. It's almost like one of those things where, like, if you read it on paper, if like somebody was so shocked they stood in the same place until night. No, Toru actually did that. After hearing all of this stuff, Toru just can't move at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
One
And
of
I
my favorite parts. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's fine, but I wonder how much of that is symbolism of like how not only is she frozen, but everything else is frozen in place because no improvements have happened. Nobody has been able to move anything forward because at the end of the day, Akito is like, you're all gonna come back to me, and nobody has tried to break that curse.
That's really good. I like how time is almost frozen for the Zodiacs because they just keep getting reincarnated and living the same life almost.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's like it also shows like everything Taru has done will like be pointless in the end because they'll just all go back to Akito.
Something I really liked about the scene, I don't know if it's the scene or the one right after, but when Toru is like freaking out, having a breakdown, and she's talking about how she wanted to say something to help and she couldn't think of anything. And it makes me think about, kind of very much early Toru meeting all the Zodiacs, and every time they had a problem, she'd be like, well, this is what my mom said. My mom always told me this. Or just, give them some kind of advice or wisdom, and they'd always be helped. And I think that she got a lot of comfort from helping them. And in this scene, she's like freaking out. She's like, I couldn't think of a word. I couldn't think of anything to say. It was just too much for me to handle. I couldn't help at all.
Yeah, Alejandro also
Because
says shows Toru really doesn't understand the whole picture.
Hmm.
Continue,
I
Rising.
wonder. Yeah, I was thinking there might be like a difference between how we see it because we see it from multiple characters' perspectives, and like just what Toru sees, and so like our experiences or her experience is like clouded based on what she doesn't know as well.
Like she barely knows about Akito. You know what I mean? Like she's met Akito like 2 times.
Yeah, and like she knows about her from the other Zodiac, but there's a lot more that we know because we've seen Akito through the backstory with Yuki and Rin and Kisa and all that.
Yeah, and even the stuff from the others, like she doesn't know a lot of the stuff that Akito did and stuff. That's why like during the beach arc when Kyo got summoned to go see Akito, she was so happy 'cause she didn't realize, but
Yeah,
there's so much she doesn't know.
yeah, she probably still doesn't know like how bad that was. Well, we understand it because we saw it.
Mhm.
Well, even though this episode was quite sad in many ways, I felt like it still tried, of course, as Fruits Basket always does, to bridge those gaps with some nice, wholesome comedy and just heartwarming moments. Because
Mm.
one of my favorite moments in the show is simply just for the quote, but Hana and Megumi show up, and Hana's just like, "Here I am to the rescue, da 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 da."
Like, here I am to save the day.
Her monotone fanfare was so funny.
Yes.
So I don't. So we kind of. Well, okay. I don't want to be this guy, but like we kind of skipped over a little something
Well, go
before we
back.
get to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we saw Rin there. So did she like listen to the whole conversation?
Probably.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know how much we know she heard.
yeah, because Reen was
She
definitely
looked like
her.
shook, you know.
Yeah, she looked like
Yeah.
she was she looked like she was mad to me, or like her face like when she looked the other way, it looked like she was looking at what's his name? Totally forgot his name.
Kurno.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she knows something, and then later on in the episode, you see her like sneaking about. But yeah, that's just what like I wanted to point out was that she was there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we kind of just glossed over that because the show also did. But like the show
Yeah.
showed that she was there, but didn't do anything with it, which is kind of weird. But I'm
Yeah.
guessing we'll get back to
Setting
that
something
later.
up for the next episode.
you know what I just realized, and I don't think they ever confirmed this, but they it says sorry, how am I trying to say this? Basically, in Rin, you just reminded me, in Rin's backstory, remember the woman that was like, Rin, your family is always so happy, aren't they? Or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That was Rin.
Oh wow!
Like, if you look at the figure.
Jeez, I need to go back and watch season 2 again.
I know.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Gonna
Well, like,
cry.
I'm pretty
we
sure it's
could-
the same voice and everything.
Well, gotta go back and watch that. Well, I am. Ha ha!
Wait, you are?
That episode is honestly, I think that's my favorite episode just because I love the dark ones. And I think that's the darkest episode.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite episode currently is when Kyo realizes he loves Toru.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
such a,
Yeah,
but that
it
one's
is-
also full of hurt too because of Akito.
Yeah, I literally watched that
Yeah.
episode today.
Wasn't
I
that like
rewatched.
episode 9 or so
Yep,
of
episode
season 2?
9.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
one's great because it ends on like this cute image of Kyo and Toru holding hands and it's like sweet. But then you realize Kyo's inner monologue is talking about, oh, I'll just cherish the days I have left. Like he's already given up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yuki, that rat bastard, better not come back to snatch her up.
It's
I
so
don't think he,
Come on,
you know, see,
because I was Yuki in the group. We did a
It's-
fruit basket cosplay. This was again
What if
my high school years, and I was Yuki.
what if after all
it's-
this, you know, Yuki and Toru end up together and he just calls her mommy?
No.
Oh god!
Oh,
you know,
God.
I'm not gonna lie. Like season 1, I felt like Toru was gonna end up with Yuki. Like now it's looking like it's gonna be Kyo.
Oh, wait, hold
So-
on. Kira says to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Wrong podcast.
Yeah, I was part of
Podcast.
that was the Zoom call I was in before this one.
Accept Akito as your Lord and Savior.
Sorry,
I'd rather have.
I just like pointing that
Remember
out.
when- it's so crazy how far the show can go in one season, cause like with the second half of season 2. Because remember when we were all like, "What's with Akito? Like, why don't they just fight her?" And now it's like Akito is God that rules over their souls.
Yeah. So
Uh,
so the story's gonna completely change by the end of season 3 as well, and I'm curious what it will be if it's like continues at that rate.
Oh,
Hmm.
I do want to say now before I read these two chats, but if you're in the live stream watching, there is a link to my Discord server in the description if you want to join. So
Oh, I'll join.
yeah, you're already in there. What the hell?
I'll
Everyone's
join.
Yeah, let's join again.
you all
Yeah,
are already.
I'll
Ah!
leave and join again.
Yeah, let's all leave and join again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry anyways. Anna says it makes it feel like we are the bird looking at this story. How we seen everything going around.
I think
Alright.
I get what they mean. Like we're on the outside looking in, like a fly
Mhm.
in the wall. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be why
And we don't learn a lot of stuff until other people do.
'Cause there's a lot going on with all the characters we don't see, but we also see a lot of like outside the characters that they don't see. So it's our perspectives is not the same as the characters.
Hazel Maple says,
Um,
well, I need to head off, guys. Hope you all enjoy the rest of the podcast. Hope to see you in the next episode. Have a great night. You too, Hazel Maple. Much
Thank
appreciated.
you.
Goodbye.
Why don't we talk about? We didn't talk about the scene following all this heavy stuff with, Hana getting Toru, and her mom asks, what do you think Toru wants to eat? And she says shark fin. And her mom's like, that's just what you want to eat, isn't it?
Hana's family is amazing.
Yeah, they have
I
such a
like-
great dynamic.
Well, I
Yeah.
love how like. Well, I love
It's so
how
good
Hana.
because she's like, ask Toru what she wants, and she's like, she wants shark fin.
I mean,
Well, I think my favorite part of that was when Hana called Yuki to like tell the Somas where Toru was,
oh
and she said, "Yes, we're having a Nikon festival,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Nightgown Festival.
no,
and like
No,
I'll be
no.
taking care of Toru all night or something like that."
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yuki
way-
was like, the way you said that was a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Um,
mean, I like Megumin. Megumin's one of my favorite.
Yeah,
Right.
he
He
is.
loves being surrounded by older women.
Yes. Hey,
Yes.
hey, me and him can get along.
No, he
I
wouldn't
guess
care
you
about
loved
you.
you loved the introduction of Ren then, Hussy.
Oh well, I was like,
I
whoa, who is this?
could,
And
yeah,
then-
could
And then I was like, wait a moment, not my type.
are you what, dude?
You're not into the
look,
crazy
I
ones.
feel like she's very much Satsuki's type.
Oh yes, she.
Yeah, definitely.
No. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have not seen Satsuki react to Ren yet. He hasn't watched the episode, but
Mhm.
if I remember to, on one of the next podcasts or just in a DM to all you guys, I will ask him, and his answer I will know before I even ask
Yeah,
him.
me
I'll
too.
tell you right
I
now.
already know. He likes the Akito, Mayu, Uo. Like he has a certain
Priscilla.
type.
He loves Priscilla and Elsa and ReZero, which Elsa is a mercenary who gets off by slicing open people's stomachs. So
Yeah.
What if he was like? What if he's like? You know who I like the most though? The old maid lady from Fruits Basket. Like rude old lady.
Yeah.
oh Lord.
Can we also talk about Uo coming and kind of telling Toru it's okay, I gave up on or no, you don't got to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, when she said that, I felt like she wasn't exactly, lying or anything.
like-
But like I relate it to like my own experiences like this, where it's like when somebody's worried about how you feel about a person, and you're like, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, because I think, I think deep down, I think she still cares, but I do think as well that there are more important things to Uo than a guy. And I'm not trying to
Mhm.
like trivialize it and say, like that's not going to be right in every situation. But I think for Uo, I think she cares way more about Toru in this moment than her own love life. So
Mhm.
It shows
Also,
that-
her fit was immaculate. Her outfit.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I was when she came in, I was like, what? That's your like after work attire? Holy crap.
I don't
Dude,
know.
I always loved their outfits, Uo and Hana.
I
Oh, yeah.
haven't lost
Written.
hope.
So I need to cosplay as Hana.
Anna is just Adam's family. That's
It is.
She rocks it though.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
And then we cut to a scene where best boy Kyo realizes his wife is in danger.
Wait.
He
Well,
finds
he
her car.
realizes her scarf. He finds her scarf.
Yeah.
But,
pretty much.
as a manga reader, I'm like, this could have some big symbolism in it, but I'm not going to say for what. So why don't you guys,
His-
your
His-
own guesses?
To quote the Kill La Kills, "Don't lose your way." She's gonna
You
lose
should
her
have
way.
said don't lose your scarf.
Also, wait, before you give your answers too, just that 360 shot where it like turns to the scarf, that was so well animated. I was like,
Yeah.
what
I love those kinds of
Those.
shots where it makes it seem
Mhm.
where it like takes away the 2D. Well, you know, in a sense, it's not, but like it's taking away the 2D feeling that anime has, and giving its world perspective. I could go on about that kind of thing, but yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they did the same thing in episode 24 of season 1 where Cosmo was like taking Kyo's beads off and there was
Yes.
like a spinning shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wow.
It was so good.
They did it in the
Yeah, no,
K-On!
but-
season 2 opening.
Oh, yeah.
A totally different show,
Of
but
course
okay.
they did it. They did it in X arm.
No, stop. Full stop. No, we are not bringing up X-Arm in the Fruits Basket podcast.
I need to go watch that.
What's it called? Yeah, no. When like he saw the scarf, I just thought like, oh, like he knew instantly like that was Tori's scarf, so like he picked it up and like just brought it back home. I don't know. I didn't think like anything like of it.
They animate that scene so well though. I was like, this is deep. There's
Yeah,
some deep
Kyo,
stuff. But I think that my theory for what the scene means is kind of spoilery, so I can't say it.
Yeah, I actually did some of my theory when I made my video on the episode. But like we saw Tori's scarf blow away when she's being frozen by being overwhelmed by Kurino and everything that he said. So I see that as a symbolism for like Tori's mental state, and that she's getting to the point where she cannot bear everyone's burdens. It's becoming too much for her. And then Kyo ends up finding it, and then he brings it back to her. He cleans it up, showing how he is helping with her mental state. There's still like some stains left on it. So it's like the scars that Toru cannot fully get over are still there, but because of Kyo, it's a lot better than it was previously. And she loves it, even though it's still wet from the being washed, to show how much she appreciates Kyo.
This is.
I think you might be right. I don't know
dude.
if my theory was right. Maybe you're right.
That
That was so good.
That was literally what I was
Yeah.
gonna say too.
Yeah, that was good.
I think
I also like that
can
she hits
change a
him
lot.
with it again, like she did in the one episode.
Oh, yeah,
The pom pom things at the end.
Oh,
I really like that side
was,
to her because usually she's very much.
yeah.
I think she only gets that way with Kyo because otherwise, like she's usually like very scared of offending anybody or being. She's always overly polite, but with Kyo, like we've seen later in season 2, like she'll get playful and kind of mess with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Like
That
you
was,
can't beat the ocean, Kyo.
That was so that was so cute. Like she literally put her scarf back on just so she could hit him with the pom poms. Oh,
Yeah.
that was so adorable. I love that.
Okay, now I didn't want a scarf like that.
I also like how Uo points out that Toru is a lot like Kurino.
Oh yes.
Because fuck, am I getting it wrong? Hana
Yeah, no,
points out
you're
to
right.
Toru
yeah,
that
Uo pointed that out.
Uo did because
Oh.
Uo's the one that likes him. Hana
Okay.
doesn't know anything about him.
oh yeah, that's right. But maybe what happens afterwards.
The only man Hana wants is Kazuma. She has a thing for Cosmo.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
she
it.
does.
That's with Kyo.
But anyways, before I forget, I think she says then like that's like the same problem that Kurino has is the same problem that Toru has.
They're both the same type of dumb.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that shows, that brings around that connection from season 2 when Uo said that Kurino and Uo were or Kurino and Toru have the same or are similar. And I really like that scene.
Oh, you saying the Kurino thing kind of reminded me that we skipped over something. I think one of the first times besides when Akito was little, we saw her just break down crying today. This episode, she was like, "Why is she so mean to me?" You know,
Yeah.
kind of reverting
Oh,
back
yeah.
to a childlike state. And even when Kurino returns, she slaps him, but then she's crying and she hugs him.
We need more
That's true.
wholesome Akito. We don't need any of this,
I mean,
choking
I'll be
people Akito.
Also,
I'll be
Kurino
genuinely-
and Akito's relationship is kind of fucked up because it's already been implied that they like slept together at the end of last season. And like, Akito's so dependent on him for mental, like how she is with all the Zodiac members. But it's like, damn, this relationship is fucked up when you really think about it.
Oh, yeah. So I wonder though if I think it's interesting because they have that messed up relationship. but it's despite her no longer being a Zodiac or no longer having the Zodiac spirit.
Yeah, he basically says, "This is all my choice. I'm not being held hostage. I just want to help Akito because I feel bad for her."
I
So
I wonder. Yeah, I'm wondering like what caused Kurno like to lose the Zodiac spirit, and I wonder if it's like because he accepted Akito and like has a love for Akito on his own, so he no longer needs a spirit for that.
Mm.
could be.
Crazy
But,
Maybe.
theory.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything.
So at the end, Rin confronts, we'll just say Isuzu to make this a little bit easier.
Rin confronts Rin.
Well, I guess it's not really a confrontation. She kind of just comes up behind her. It's like, "What you doing out here, huh, Ara? Ara?"
What you do?
And this is the scene where you're all like, "Damn, these girls are identical. Even though one's like 40."
God, dude, she's like towering over her. I'm like, what?
Yeah, she's super tall.
Like, how tall
And
is she?
Ren's
Like,
already
6'4"?
tall, so Ren is like very tall.
Yeah, she's crazy tall, and intimidating as well. That's the thing. It seems like just seems like something about her just like has this
Yeah.
evil, intimidating aura, which
Looks
is
like a-
so unique. Like, not even Akito has that.
Mm. She definitely talks like kind of like a Lust from Full Metal Alchemist type character, where they're like evil but like sexy evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that kind of
My-
voice?
Yeah.
My favorite type of evil.
you
Yeah,
know,
same.
Laura
Unlike Kyo's
Bailey.
dad evil, who is ugly evil.
Laura Bailey, the voice of Toru, in the dub, voices Lust in
voices
Full Metal
Lust.
Alchemist. So there you
He
go.
does.
Very
Yeah,
talented.
she has such good range.
So, yeah, speaking of which, so this is my first time ever watching the dub, and I gotta say, Toru's voice isn't that bad in dub. Like,
I love
It's
her.
really
voice, too.
good.
It's so
Yeah.
sweet. I've always watched the dub for Fruits Basket. The second season was the first time I ever watched it sub, though. But I really still love the dub.
I think if I was as nostalgic for the old Fruits Basket, I would watch the dub. But I'd more read the manga than watched the old one, so I watched the sub.
So the very end, like typically, like Fruits Basket always has these like life lessons kind of threaded throughout it, and Toru says something in the end that I thought was just really profound. She says, "The sun goes down, but always comes up again, no matter how dark. No night lasts forever." She finishes off with moving on and on, and I thought that was such a beautiful way to end this episode, because it also kind of like, it reminded me of that episode. It's episode 9 of season 2 where Kyo was being abused by Akito and was like, "No, I don't love Toru." And by the end of the episode, he decides on his own that kind of like, fuck that, I do, and I'm going to be with her until I can no longer be with her. So kind of reminded me of that. But
Well, by the end, he's more like, he literally says like, I thought that I could make her mine, but now I'm just happy just being with her until I'm locked up. So it's still kind of sad at the end of that one, but
yes.
yeah. It really reminds me of episode 7 of season 1, the Hatori backstory, where Toru says, spring always comes again, no matter how cold it gets. It's basically the exact same line, but it's night and day versus spring and winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a very nice way to end the episode. But my closing thoughts on the episode actually is this. Yuki's cooking is so bad, Shigure had to say, "Help me."
I forgot about that.
He
but yes.
like gagged when he thought about it.
I thought they ordered takeout. I thought that was the deal.
No, I think
No,
they were.
Yuki said he cooked, and then the memory of it made Kyo like almost throw up.
Yeah, didn't Shigure wasn't his exact line like, "No God, please help," or something like that? Like,
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
This is
That's like
crazy.
the only man who can cook or clean in that house is Kyo. You know, like
That's
if you
something
even
that
when you
could
look
happen.
at Yuki's room, it's such a fucking mess. Like he literally lives like a rat. No wonder that's his zodiac.
QRW6 says, "Watch both sub and dub because I love the show that much." Same here. I watch it dub and sub. And Bree, who another faithful from the Bento channel, lest we never talk about that channel again, says, I love Hana's speech about Toru. Yeah, any closing thoughts on this episode? Comments?
fun,
Actually,
here's a fun fact that somebody just told me that the original voice of Akito from the original dub of the series actually had a cameo in the episode as Akira.
oh yeah,
Oh
Huh.
wow.
because Akito was, just a man in the original. So now he's voicing Akira, that mysterious man with the white hair.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hydrotriacic says, I love this episode as the season opener, specifically the ending part. Just as Toru returns home to Shigure's house, we're being welcomed back into Fruits Basket.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was my favorite season opener out of the 3 seasons.
Yeah, definitely. Because season 1 was okay to like introduce us to the world and everything. Season 2 is solid, but I think this is definitely the most impactful opener.
I don't know, but to me it feels like season 2 episode 25. Like basically it feels like we're still in season 2, only because the beginning of the episode is literally a continuation of the ending of
Yeah.
episode
That's definitely because I think by, halfway through season 2, the show has established that, it's more of a continuing story instead of like one-off, like, which Zodiac member do we meet now type thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I liked the first episode of season 1, but the thing is, that is a completely different show than what we have now. So it's like I'm watching the first episode for a completely different show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, plus the manga wasn't really divided into seasons, so it doesn't make sense the anime would like have a clean break for the season.
Yeah, I like that. It just picked up where it left off.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the manga readers were like, what the fuck? That's where they're ending in the middle of Bruno's talk with Toru. Like, we're just gonna not finish the conversation, but it turned out good.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, we just happen to have a break between the seasons for the anime itself, but like if you watch it on your own, you probably just watch it straight through.
I mean, I feel like if like they would have kept the whole thing, it would have been like, what? She's a girl, and the mother is the B
Yeah.
word. Like, I don't.
I just
I don't
realized
know.
I've been cursing this whole time. I hope that's not. I hope that you're
mean-
not mad at me, C, for your channel.
I'm furious. I'm gonna fucking smash a window or something. I'm gonna be like Kagura. I'm just gonna take Kyo. I'm gonna whip him around. And I'm gonna throw him through the fucking the house.
See? Do you really have to use the F word to drive home the fucking
Listen,
point?
don't fucking curse, okay? Don't fucking curse on my fucking show, right?
Yo, okay.
And this is how we lose all our viewers.
Delilah Winters. Is that potato?
Yes.
I think that's potato.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Potato.
the one was familiar.
Yeah. Hello, potato.
All right, how
It's
many
been
of
a
you
while.
cried for this episode, like Potato? Who cried out of it? I didn't.
I did
not
not.
enjoy
I
this episode.
But I wanted to. I felt it. Like
I
felt the
yeah,
beginning.
I
I
don't
just-
feel so.
I definitely
Okay,
did a
so-
little bit. I was trying to exercise while watching the episode by like riding my exercise bike. That didn't work.
So I cried when Toru was like frozen, and then the second time I cried was with Toru and for the life of me I can't remember the names of this show. Hold
Hana?
on.
Uo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cried at that part. So I
Mm.
cried 2 times.
Well, funny
I
thing
think
is,
that-
I don't remember if it was season 1 or season 2. Just I started crying for no reason at the start of an episode because it's just like I expect all the feels today with today's Fruits Basket.
No, okay, so look.
The thing with me
The-
is like, I'm like I get so happy with each new episode that
yeah.
I'm like, there's like adrenaline running through my body, and I'm not crying or anything. I'm just sitting there like with adrenaline pumping through me. It's so
You're-
weird.
You're the literal embodiment of it's all happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
so for me it's like I forgot what episode in season 1 where Tori goes back to like the grandpa's house, like the family's house, and like
Oh, yeah.
she's not welcome. The ending to that episode made me cry.
Oh,
Like
yeah, that was
actually
a good vibe.
it didn't make me cry. Like I shed a tear. But like the episode that like really made me cry was season 1 episode 24 with like Kyo and like his beast form and like how like Toru was like trying to reach out to him.
That
Oh,
episode
that
was
got-
good.
Yeah, that
I
got me.
cried to the original of that too, both the original and the remake. I cried for
Yeah.
both those episodes, so I
So
feel you.
good. I remember that was where C stopped shipping Yuki and Toru and started shipping Kyo and Toru.
And
Hey,
that's when he started shipping Yuki with himself.
I was
Well,
I
he's
was
vacant now. He needs someone, you know? I'm gonna take care of him. I'll take care of him. More
I
ways
was a
than
diehard
three.
I was a diehard Kyo person. Like I always liked Kyo more than Yuki.
Oh, I still ship Momiji, though I know that's not happening.
What if it does, Rising? What if it does?
Then I'll be ecstatic.
Hydro Dry says, I don't cry at sad stuff, I cry at dramatic stuff, so I cried at the choking scene with all the screaming.
Oh my gosh, it was just overwhelming. That's so good.
Potato says, or Delilah Winter says, the only other part I cried at was with the whole Kyo true form part. Your W6 says, as an anime only, this show unlocks emotions I didn't know I had. And Alejandro says, the Kagura scene made me cry the most. And
Wait,
somebody... So, I'm sorry. Listen, I never really approve of these comments, but
There you go.
Flavius Bloss says the master bitch. What the fuck
By the
is-
way, and I'm so sorry. I know that like we're about to wrap up, but I just realized there's something we didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about. Is that okay?
Okey-doke. Yeah.
With the Ren and Akito stuff, I wanted to go over some specific lines said. Ren is basically saying, you know, she's like, you know, your bonds are fake. They're not even real. Like, what I had with Akira was real. Love. You and the Zodiacs don't have anything. And then Akito's choking her out. And she's like, oh, if these bonds aren't real, then what is real? A mother's love? That's rich. A lot of the parents from the Zodiac abandoned their kids, just like you. So what Akito is basically saying is the bond, you know, is real, and you know, a mother's love is not, or isn't always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think
that's-
they're both right. They're both like fake loves.
I gotta agree with Rising. I think they're both fake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like they're so blinded by the love that they have that they think is real, or they're blinded by their hatred of the other love that they think what they have is real, even though they're also wrong.
Hmm.
I'm not blinded by
Uh,
my love of Yuki.
Yes,
I
you
think
are.
it makes a lot of sense for Akito to be so attached to Zodiac bonds with what we know about her now.
Yeah, and it's like it's the only love that he has had, so he cannot
She.
understand how it could be fake. Yeah, I'll get that right eventually.
Yeah, by the end of the season, it's gonna be she. It's gonna be in our heads. Don't worry. By the way,
hopefully Akito will affirm as a
Nah.
female.
Not when it's confirmed that Akito is a robot and she becomes an it.
I also have another question. Is this 1 core or 2 cores?
2 core.
We don't know yet. It should be based on the amount of like material left in manga. It should be 2. But apparently there's something where like with how many Blu-rays they have, there's supposed to be like a box set. And if that were true, there could only be 1 core. But if they do that, they're like rushing the whole thing. So hopefully 2 cores, and Blu-ray stuff is just wrong. I don't know.
Listen,
Yeah,
Right now,
listen, Francesca, I've dealt with the Promised Neverland. Don't be putting those thoughts in my head.
oh
We're not gonna
no.
deal with
scared.
another
I'm
one.
so scared because like apparently like there's supposed to be a box set, but with how many can fit in there, there's only enough for
Well,
1 core of season 3, if that makes sense.
so what could be going on there is they're gonna have a split core. So that could be the case because of COVID.
But all of the episodes for the whole series are supposed to fit in this 1 box set, but there's only enough
Listen,
room in the
Oh.
box.
For
You're gonna-
sure, for sure, for sure.
So you
dual
can make a bigger
layered,
box.
dual layered Blu-rays. You can do those.
Yeah.
Triple
Yeah,
layer.
Look. Right now, Fruits Basket for me is like really top. If they do this like 1 core thing, it's gonna go down. Just like the
Yeah,
Promised
I'm sure they
Neverland.
won't because
Like-
this episode had the same pacing as the manga. Like they didn't speed anything up here, if that makes sense. So I'm sure they're
Like-
keeping the same pace.
Like I like this show so much that after like everything's over, I'm gonna probably buy the whole like manga, and like I'll probably buy the whole like Blu-ray set that they're gonna release. I don't know.
I'm gonna buy Mizu.
Do it. I'm like $1,000 plus tax and
Oh.
interest.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait,
I was
interest.
interested. Yeah.
Anyways,
Don't question.
as we wrap up, once again, Discord links are in the description. Join my Discord. And where can they find you? Starting with Rising.
They can find me on YouTube, where there's a link down the thingy. And there on my YouTube channel, I will be doing videos about stuff, probably including Fruits Basket. I also stream on Twitch and YouTube, where I play games and get confused and hopefully provide entertainment. And you can also find me on OnlyFans, where I make political videos.
Yo.
Francesca, the god of Fruits Basket. Goddess
Thank
of
you.
Fruits Basket. Where can they find you?
You can find me at twitter.com/Aneiko27. ANNEIKO. I know it's weird, it's just my middle name. Or on TikTok at just I'm gonna start making TikToks and shit about anime. And yeah.
Shadow, the god of retro anime. Where can they find you? All right, he died. He's fucking dead. Mizu, where can they find you?
Okay, so you could find me on Twitter at Mizu Sauce Mix, just the same name as I am here, with an M, starting with an M and ends with an X. Anyways, yeah.
Don't wear it out.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm working on a web novel at the moment, set to release like next month. And if like you guys are interested, I'm gonna do updates on my Twitter, and I guess I have a YouTube. I am planning to upload on there, so yeah, you can follow that too. But my main focus is the web novel for the moment. So
yes, everybody. Rising is putting everybody in the chat, but it's all in the description as well. Mizu, pitch people on your web novel. Damn it.
I will.
Okay, I guess. So all right. We don't know what Mizu's novel is about.
Okay. No. Look, see, the thing with that is like I'm gonna go on a tangent, and we don't have time for that.
Okay, what is the genres? What is the 3 genres?
It's basically fantasy, but like with some romance elements. So if you guys like romance, hey, Fruits Basket has romance. I have romance. I know how to write good romance.
Okay, all right. We got a modern day Uwe here. So everybody, check all these people out, and we'll return on not April the 5th. Let me return next week. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll return someday, and we'll be there. So be there or be square. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.